Hi, and welcome back to the 10-part series on workplace engagement. Today I want to cover number 5, and that's goal setting. You know, one of the interesting facts about goal setting is only 10% of the adult population actually has goals, and of those, only 3% have them written. And you've probably heard the phrase, if it's not written, it's just a wish. So the key here for success in goal setting is make sure that they're written. But there's a very, very specific process that I want to engage and speak with you today about that you need to make a part of your goal setting strategy and your goal setting system with your team within your organization. It's called the SMART process. And SMART stands for specific, measurable, accountable, realistic, and timely. So let's cover those. Number 1, specific. So what is it that you want to accomplish? It has to be crystal clear, down to the minutia. If it's increasing sales by 15% in the first quarter, that has to be very, very clear to everyone within the organization, or at least on that particular sales team. If it's about increasing production 25% in 2018, that has to be very, very specific. Now, the measurable aspect is that how do I know I've gotten to where I need to go? Well, what measurable tool are you going to use to assess success? And everyone needs to know what that measurable tool is. Now, the accountability part, this is very key for the goal setting process. You know, it's interesting, most people, when they set goals low because they're concerned, and the fear is if they set their goals too high and miss them, they feel like they let themselves down. But the reality is if you set your goals too low, there's no impetus, motivation, or drive to achieve it. So the mind is action-oriented, it is goal-driven, and the larger the goal, the more shift and change in action and behavior occurs. It changes, it actually makes an emotional change in our brain and the physical change in behavior. So don't set your goals too low. Make sure those goals are big and bold. You know, it takes the same amount of energy to think big as it does to think small. So why should we think small? Let's think big. So I got off track a little bit. Let's go back to A, accountability. Who's responsible to hold either a team or an individual accountable for that goal? And how often is that going to be reviewed? Again, if you're holding quarterly goals, those goals need to be reviewed daily by the individual or the team and collectively by leadership weekly to measure what strategies, what action steps have been put in place, and how much has been accomplished. And are we on the right path or are we on the wrong path? And if we're on the wrong path, what change in behavior actions need to occur to get us back on the path? Now, let's go to R, realistic. Now, I mentioned to you want to think big, right? Realistic really is about believability. Is a believability, if your team and organization believes that a goal is achievable, I don't care how big you set it, the collective energy of everyone taking action on the same objective is ultimately going to make that goal become a reality. So realistic is really about a belief in the vision of the goal and what the outcome is. And by the way, goals really should be bigger vision, as I mentioned before, and not necessarily profit driven. It truly is the why that keeps us motivated to accomplish our goals. The outcome, the benefit is the profits that we receive as a result. And then T is the time. How quickly, okay, again, is it a daily goal, a weekly goal, a quarterly goal, or an annual goal? Specific time period in which that goal needs to be achieved by. So if you've got an annual goal, you want to chunk it down into quarters, right? So if your goal is, let's say, 25% increased sales, break that down into 6.5 or 6.25% improvement each quarter for each of the 4 quarters. So it's, to the mind, it won't seem nearly as difficult than just looking at the larger number. So what is it you want to accomplish? What's the goal? Okay. When do I want to get there by? And how am I going to do it? All needs to be very clear. Use the SMART process, apply it to your goal setting, and watch your goals become, watch this system make you what I call a goal-slaying organization. You just slaying goals left and right, and that becomes a part of your company culture. So thanks for being with me on this video today. I hope you'll learn some really great tips for goal setting. And please follow us on Facebook, on LinkedIn, follow our blogs, or go to our website and learn more about ULA Corporate Training and how we can help you with your engagement. I look forward to seeing you down the road. Thank you.